good doctor?
I used to be. I won an award once from the mayor. Had an expensive frame.
They're all gonna die.
The day I get out of prison, my own brother picks me up in a police car.
When you're working through finding the right people in your life, it can be tough in a digital world. With swiping apps, digits, it can be confusing. Well, on the Al Travis Show, we have Heather Dugan, our relationship expert, to help with all your relationship questions.
She has love when she's on. It's Heather Dugan and how it goes. How are you doing, Heather?
Good morning, Al. I'm doing great. Yes,
Fantastic.
I'm loving the buds are coming out around here. It's pretty, and I have been. You're going to love this. My orthopedic doc said I can start running again. Limited, but after years of not being able to, it's kind of my endorphin boost in the spring. Put it all together. It's lovely. Just perfect.
All right, limited running to like if someone's attacking you, then I can agree with this plan. I don't see any other reason to run.
As long as there's a soft surface there. So if I'm in a parking lot, I'm in trouble. I'll have to
Well, let me ask you
carpet out
this.
ahead of me.
Because you're a walker, you walk aimlessly through the hills. I don't get it, but okay.
Of course.
Do you sing a lot? Is it a Sound of Music kind of situation? That's what I'm imagining.
I have been known to do that.
You do?
You know, yeah.
Deer?
Not,
Okay.
you know, I kind of read the room though. I'm not doing this when there's people around.
Fair enough. But you walk
for
aimlessly.
critters.
So when you're walking in your winter, the fall, and the crappy times of the year, how is it mentally for you? I mean, I get you're walking, but you bring up the buds. This is the same as grass greening on a golf course for me, I presume. It's, baby, the good times are coming.
You're right.
Right?
But there is honestly, it's stress relieving to me to get outdoors like that. There's something about that fresh air. And then, yes, right now, definitely the greenery that's coming out and little, the blooms. And I even have a bunny nest in my garden. I mean, it's all coming together.
Oh, this is exciting.
Isn't it fun?
No, I have bunnies under my back deck, and it drives me nuts because the dog goes crazy on it.
Oh, well.
Speaking of which, bunnies and dogs, you saw the story. You sent me people in their relationship with their dogs. This has got to be scary. Yeah, for folks who came out of the Guardian.
It's scary, you say.
People find relations with their dog more satisfying than with their friends.
Well, I wouldn't say more satisfying. But
I'm reading the
headline
headline.
says that. If you go into it deeper, they arc high on almost every level. Just because, look at the kind of relation dogs fit into any kind of relationship. They can be like another child. They can be a sibling.
Oh, that's a sickness.
Surrogate.
That's a sickness when you put them in there.
But I'm saying it's that need for connection that we have. And it's not saying this article in The Guardian, it's not saying that they supplant our human relationships, but that they are an enhancement for so many people. And I understand it. I mean, dogs are they're not going to argue with you over what restaurant you choose for dinner. They're not going to argue about the temperature in the room. They kind of fill in a very, some are more assertive than others, but you are top dog with your dog. So you get to control them, but you also have all the benefits of the nurturing, the companionship. They don't have a lot of huge expectations. You're not like angry at them if they don't take out the trash or forget to throw their laundry.
How's that different than a goldfish then? Or a gerbil in the hamster trail.
I dare you. I dare you to nuzzle a goldfish, Al. It's not the same. Petting
the nuzzling. Okay, maybe
same.
go back to the gerbil thing. Because here's my thing. I like my dog. Duke's fine. I have no illusion that we're best buddies because I don't feed him a day or two. I will know about it. He will find some place to live. It is a relationship. I feed him. He sits next to me. It's fine. He doesn't smoke
living up
cigars.
To your expectations, Al.
Yeah. He doesn't smoke cigars, so there's no good there. He doesn't seem to understand basketball when we watch it. It seems it can't. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I don't in any way elevate my dog to anything.
You don't identify with this. Yes. Yeah.
No, it drives me crazy. Do I like my dog? Yeah, I don't want him to get hit by a car, but other than that,
there was a percentage, of course. This was a study. It comes. I think this one is coming out of Hungary. I'm trying to remember. Yeah, Hungarian University. They did this study. They gathered data for periods of time that were 10 years apart. The most recently being, I think it was like 2022 to 2023, and it stayed true. Not for all. So you're in probably a minor sector there, Al. It's okay. You dare to be different.
No, I'm not being different. This is crazy,
yeah.
Phil. You call them fur babies. There are people, my kids, like, no,
Yeah.
it is a flippin' pet you got at the pet store.
Right.
This is not a child. Fur babies is a horrible concept that we accept, that people think, that's just my baby. No, it is a dog or a cat or what. Come on.
I dare say that if there was a human baby there too, the human baby receives the bigger portion of affection and time and all of that. It's more about an enhancement. They're not supplanting people, but they are, people are saying many, and I know many, they gather and they absorb a lot of good energy from their pets' relationships. They absorb good energy from their human relationships too. But the human relationships, they're not all going to be perfect. Not your dog either.
You're going to hate me. You're going to hate me for this.
Bird at the door. Yeah, go ahead.
You're going to hate me for this. So my parents moved in 5 blocks away, and I'm getting in trouble for saying this. They have 2 little mutsy dogs, right? Missy and Billy Bob. Nice enough dogs. Got it? But it is ruining my relationship with my parents. And here's why. They had 7 children, my parents, and they have 2 dogs. Those dogs are spoiled worse than they ever treated their real children when we were kids.
Al is jealous.
Well, yeah, I'm saying, wait a minute, what's with this freakish dog treatment? As an example, we fought for our food at home, right? I mean, there were 7 kids. If there was 6 chicken wings, somebody's out. This is how life works in the big world.
Right.
They make chicken nuggets for the dog, little fried chicken thing, because it's tough on their tummy otherwise. So they do that. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Then I go out and have a cigar with Dad. This is just yesterday. Dad said, let's have a cigar. So we go in where I go to his place, have a cigar. We're sitting on the thing, and Missy comes out. But Missy wanders in a circle until Dad goes in the garage and gets her a blanket to put on the cement so she can lay on the cement while having cigars with us. I'm like, are you flipping kidding me? No, this is psycho. This is what old people do. You get lost in whatever that animal thing is. It's not normal.
Well, maybe if you went and laid on that blanket, you'd get a chicken nugget too, Al. I don't know. Might mess up the taste of your cigar, but you could try it. I'm not saying. Of course, then your siblings would all be lining up because Al can't be first, right? Okay. Yeah.
You don't see that. You don't see that these people get to a point you've replaced these animals with what are real humans.
But you aren't there 24/7, and they need somewhere to put their energy when you're not, right? So, and then that you expect them to just flip the switch because Al walks in the door. How fair would that be? I'm not saying it doesn't
fair.
Sound
it's
like
a dog. Family's in the house. Let's treat them like family.
Ask for a blanket.
Oh, stop that. It's not the blanket. It's the idea that a dog can't sit on the ground. It's so spoiled. I'm like,
if cement would be hard. Do you want to go lay on the ground?
I'm not a dog.
But what's wrong with caring for its comfort, Al? I'm just saying, I would not camp on ground in the woods.
Okay. I'm going to trump you on this. I'm going to trump you. This is serious. I should not share this. My parents are going to kill me.
Yeah.
They don't like the dog having to lick out of a bowl because it gets wet around the face. You know how that's like that?
Yeah.
They have a gerbil water bottle for this dog. It licks a little like this. I'm like, you hear this thing going, what's going on? The sink's exploding. It's drinking out of a gerbil bottle. No, this is freakish. This is not how people treat animals.
But here's, what I'm going to put forth on that one. They're doing that because this is easier for them. They don't like dealing with the wet muzzle, right? So this is a convenience for them. They solved their problem. Al, you can keep talking. You can keep talking. Go.
I want to know, Heather,
Yeah.
if in your lifetime you've actually ever looked at somebody and said, no, that's just wrong. I just told you my parents feed their dogs water through a gerbil bottle, and you're like, okay, I get it. Can you not draw a line?
I do. Here's my line. I am hiking in the woods. There is a meadow. I come through, and the most gorgeous, hair colored and styled beautifully. This was not a person. This was a giant poodle. They had them dyed and fluffed and everything. And apparently that is a thing. I have run across other ones, but that was one of those. No, that is wrong. But they were parading around in the woods very happily. But that's the kind of dog you feel sorry for, right? I mean, it's like the kid who's not allowed to go play in the sprinkler because their hair is done or something,
Oh, yeah, we have found the tinker. Okay, that's cool.
Okay.
Because I'm with you. Whatever the last dog we had, it was like $70 to get his hair cut or whatever.
Yeah, if they're clean and they're, okay.
I went and bought a dog grooming thing, and I strapped him up in the garage, and I did the haircuts myself. Thing paid for itself in like 2 haircuts. I said, Steph, we're not paying somebody to do this to this dog. I'm out in the garage.
I could just guess what he looked like.
He looked like a military man when it was done.
Did you give him a bowl cut around the front?
Pretty much. Yeah, and eyebrows. That was about it. Heather, you do know me. We got to go to break. We'll be back. I'm glad you have some limits, and it's the foo-foo dogs. Okay, I can live with that.
You got
it. Heather Dugan on the Al Travis Show.
There are many ways to explore Alexandria. Some like to experience the outdoors and all the fun winter in Minnesota can provide. Pick your favorite way to get in touch with nature. Others like to explore downtown in the warm comfort of a boutique or gathered around a table with friends. You can do all of that or relax and do nothing at all. Come explore Alexandria. Start planning at explorealex.com.
If it's your turn to host a game, Grandpa's Barbecue suggests you try something different. Put out the perfect barbecue flavor of Grandpa's Barbecue. Add it to your ribs, dip the meatballs, or drench your wings in the original flavor of Grandpa's Barbecue. It isn't too hot or spicy, fruity or smoky or whatever. Grandpa's Barbecue. Available in select stores and online at grandpasbarbecueshop.com.
Easily offended? The Al Travis Show is not for you. The Al Travis Show. All sides are welcome.
We've got her, Heather Dugan, on the program, laughing all the way through the break. Throw the dog thing out. That one gets me. I think that is hilarious. But the other story you said about, and it's from the Post, stress is contagious. Here's how not to catch it. And they've got this ugly hand thing where like it's spreading germs. I'm thinking that's like the worst headline and picture you could put because everyone's like, oh my God, I could get stressed. Now what? Didn't do anything to help the cause. You know what I'm saying?
Well, the graphic, yeah, I can understand that, but it is. I mean, can you walk in a room? You can tell when it's in there, can't you? I mean, we all have that fine-tuned skill, whether we want it or not, right? You know, my one of my kids and I started to watch a program last week, highly rated, great actor in the lead, etc. But we quit and are not going to watch the series because we turned it off and we both commented on how the stress level of the lead character just exuded stress in a way that was painful to us. We did not want to experience the program because the stress from the program. I mean, it acted no differently than those news headlines do to many of us, right? And you've got friends sharing them with you and you feel this compelling urge, you know, I must pass this on. When that's all we're sharing, though, and that's all we're reading, that stress level goes up, up, up. And whoever you're blessed to be living with or in line with at the grocery, whatever, it's transmitted. It is transmitted.
I found that when I read it, a friend of mine 6-8 months ago, and we'd talk politics. I do it all the time, but we had talked, and he was always just massively stressed about what was going on. You know, left, right doesn't really matter. He just stopped. Saw him the other day, and he goes, I said, well, did you happen to see this thing? I don't watch the news anymore. I am done. And literally just checked out of the world, doesn't go on social media anymore.
Yeah.
And at first I thought, you knucklehead. I mean, how do you know what's going on? But it was overtaking him, that constant feedback that either he's wrong or he's right on. I don't know if I ever unplug like that. I mean, only because, well, heck, I do this for a living, but it doesn't throw my stress level up that much, I don't think. And then I go golfing a lot, so it takes a break.
I kind of had to recalibrate for the years that I was not allowed to run anymore. And like I said, this is a big thing for me to be able to add that into my life again. But yeah, I have a lot of friends who have just quit news, or what I like to do. I can't quit it completely, but I very much filter how much I receive. I did go off social media for a while. I didn't make an announcement, but it was just too much on top of other things. And I'm back in a more limited way now, but I am definitely aware of what I need to do to manage stress when it comes into me. Because I don't want to be a contributor to stress to anybody around me. I don't need to absorb everybody else's, because that inflammation, that's going to shorten my life. It's going to diminish the quality of the life I have.
Probably some sort of wrong comment. Are we a bunch of pansies now? Because I say no. Wait, we went through World War I, World War II, and the headlines weren't about how to handle your stress. You know, it's how to take out the Nazis. So we've had tough times politically and the rest. Vietnam, we've always had it, but now I think it's social media that's twerked that you get into feeding frenzy with like-minded people or the other side, and you want to argue the whole time. I'm thinking this isn't the world's any tougher. I think we're pansies. That's our bad.
I think that we are dealing with more than we used to. Weren't aware of all, of course, we weren't aware of the nuances of things. It was when you're talking about World War II, it was, a newspaper and a very, specific news channels. There wasn't the onslaught. We didn't have the conversations were pretty much where everybody agreed with one another too, right?
No, there was
I was like country
that was
united.
Yeah.
Right. Now we don't know where conflict is going to come from. It can come from any direction. It can come from, just things that aren't even related to political situations, right?
See, that's so funny. Okay, because like tariffs, until 3 weeks ago, I don't think I ever used the word tariff in my life. I don't think it was. Now I gotta have an opinion on a tariff. Oh God, okay. So maybe there's something to the ability that we have more to think about, because
we do. And then you feel either, that if you don't know about it, there's something wrong with you. If you don't share it. But, I would just encourage people, be aware of your own bodily signs. You can tell if you stop long enough to notice what's happening in your body. And if in 10 minutes doing something different, just to interrupt that signal, that pattern that's developing within you. Because once your body goes into stress mode, it can be difficult to turn it off again. We kind of have to choose our way out.
And I appreciate you for doing, but I wanted to ask what the answer is, and I think that's a wonderful answer. I think you're forgetting the idea of stuffing your feelings down and eating more, and that helps as well. That's a very good reliever.
Right.
Eat the food
Perfect.
that makes. Don't you
Or
think
go,
that would
or go
help?
lay down a blanket in Al's dad's garage. See what happens.
Oh, she brings it all the way around, right?
Yeah, I
Full
do.
circle. Heather Dugan, I love having you on the show. Thank you very much. We're out of time. HeatherDugan.com. You can go there and get her to speak at your organization. You're meeting that, and you also buy her books.
Perfect.
Heather, thanks for being here.
Yes. See you next time, Al.
She's Heather Dugan on the Al Travis Show.
Chad hasn't